So, how to increase fertility in ways that doctors don't know about? So, I've been doing a series on this, and this is week 4. So, this is about basically the title is "Sperm Don't Create with Me." So, what's happening is women these days, career women in particular, we are badass. We're kick ass. Yeah, we can outdo any man in the industry because we have the capacity to be adaptable instead of single focus that men masculine tend to be. So what's happening is we can put a roof over our head, we can put food on the table, we've got money in a bank account, we don't need a man. However, what we're saying to the sperm is don't create with me, I don't need you. So we have to learn ways to overcome that without feeling like we're sacrificing or that we are going into kind of the role of the little woman. Now, this is something that was really something I really worked through actually, because I was a female firefighter, so like I can match men, you know. But when I got with Daniel, he was like, you don't need me. I'm like, I don't need you. No, I don't need you. I can do anything. I can do it all myself. I can take care of myself. I don't need you. However, it did start to have an effect on the relationship. But really, when we really started to dig into it was when I was told I couldn't get pregnant naturally because, one, I had painful sex, and two, a lot of things changed in the relationship and we had become kind of more like friends rather than lovers. So we went on a journey to overcome my infertility, looking in the background of Chinese medicine, of my training, but also looking at other aspects. And energetically, what's happening is we're just saying, don't create with me, sperm. And IVF isn't going to overcome this because, well, there's an art and a science to conception, and the science is, that science is like when you have a chemical reaction. So if there's a part of that that's saying don't create, it's not going to happen. And it's not going to overcome those subconscious thoughts that you're running about creation and about motherhood and about, letting go of a life that you've created. Even if you decide that you're going to have a baby and go back to work, there's still subconscious beliefs there that are blocking you because you're afraid to let go of that. So the science part here is that when women go into the workplace, we have to run more masculine energy, which means the reason why we do that is because these actions that we do in the workplace, inherently we don't feel safe because our biological body is not specifically designed to do that. Kind of, we haven't caught up in terms of like our animal instincts. So in order to overcome it, we run more testosterone and more masculine energy, which is great. It's our own protective mechanism. But what's happening is long-term effect of that affects ovulation, and it starts to shrink down our reproductive organs. So how we overcome this is we have to learn how to turn that testosterone off on a long-term basis and switch in and out of workplace person, woman, and home woman, so that you can signal to your brain, turn off that testosterone. Because what's happening is that testosterone is in the same place as where we run the female reproductive hormones, but also the adrenals and the cortisol. And when we're going into the workplace, those are the the testosterone, the adrenal, and the cortisol are all the things that are going to be running more than your female reproductive hormones, because it's all fired in the same place, but actually the testosterone, the adrenals, and the cortisol actually are more dominant, so they're going to overcome the female reproductive hormones. So the first thing here is to learn how to turn it off. So I teach my clients to go through a process. So when you leave work, you signal to your brain, I finished that action. I can now go into my feminine. I can now go into safety, which is my home environment, and I can turn that testosterone off because I don't need it anymore. The upshot of that is that your relationship will change, because when you're running that testosterone, you're coming home to your partner, you're more in a dominant masculine. It starts to polarize the relationship. You actually find that your relationship, you become more distant. You actually find that you depolarize, which means the attraction gets lost. You're also, when you're doing the act of sex, you are kind of more in a masculine energy, which means that you're not allowing him into your body. So you're kind of guarded, holding tension in your belly and holding tension in your pelvic area, and effectively your cervix is closed, so the sperm can't go up. So all those things are affecting fertility, and that's nothing that a doctor would ever talk to you about. And IVF isn't going to overcome that. Okay, you're going to place the egg in there, but if you are saying don't create with me, then you're not going to create. So what I teach my clients is, first and foremost, do a transition process when you leave work. So leave work at the door, come home, do an action that signals to your brain to turn off the testosterone, which is something simple like changing your clothes, having a bath, pottering around the house, doing dinner, something that gets you more kind of into relaxation, into your feminine. When you do that, you will find that your relationship will start to shift back into the polarity that like you had when you were first together, and you will find that your partner will lean more towards you, become more magnetic, and then the sex will change because you will be more in a relaxed place, you will feel more safe. But you might also be saying to me, yeah, but I don't want to be that feminine little woman. And what I mean by that is, actually it's a superpower you're going to go into. So it's not you're becoming more weak, you're actually going to more strength. You actually become more powerful in your partnership because you're in a strength place. It's a very different way of acting, as opposed to the little meek woman. Your partner doesn't want that anyway. It's not how he didn't choose you because of that. So it actually has a knock-on effect in the bedroom and the boardroom, because you will stand out in your workplace because you'll be more magnetic, because you'll know this, and then you'll be like, okay, it's kind of going to start shining through. And then so that actually signals to your brain to turn off your testosterone. The other part is these subconscious beliefs about not letting that go are affecting fertility, because you're protecting yourself. You don't want to let that part of you go. However, when you learn this process, you're not letting it go, you're actually gaining. But these behaviors have been ingrained. They've been ingrained in you since childhood, because they're based on beliefs that you created in childhood to become more of a people pleaser, to get noticed, to do more, to be a high achiever. And they're actually there because of the childhood experiences or trauma. So when I work with clients, we go a little bit deeper on that so that you're able to release that and heal that and go more into you, more into this powerful part of you, the person you were born to be. In my experience, all my clients, career changes. My career changed. I became who I was born to be, who I am in essence, in a kind of a in a soul place, my soul purpose, instead of a version of me that I didn't like anyway. So that's what happens. So I take you through a 5-step process, which is increase your fertility in ways that doctors don't know about. But there is science. It's not woo-woo. There's science here, and there's also an art here. And we also go a little bit deeper on some of the issues, and we release those because, IVF is a cost. It doesn't give you any of that. It doesn't even give you a baby most of the time. So you, through my working with my clients, a lot of areas change in their life, but first and foremost, we're going to be working on your fertility. I've got a fertility strategy that I take every client through. I will take you through a fertility strategy consultation. We will look, it's individualized, it's personalized, and it's based on your personality. So it works with you rather than against you. It's not doing things that you don't want to do, because I know your personality and I know how to work with that. So if 2023 is your year to get pregnant, then say yes in the comments below or send me a message, and I will set up a fertility strategy consultation with you. All right. I'll see you next week for week 5.